Video already done.
All right. So thank you guys for coming today to this live press conference for a program the Black Gold Nation is about to launch. We are here for a very, very, very important reason. In 2022, our people are in a very bad spot. We don't own anything of significance. We control no major industries. And America is changing. And the changes that America is going through, they are not pro-black changes. The America that comes out of this pandemic is not going to be the same America that went into it. And she wasn't pro-black when she went into it. So we have to understand that as America changes and the world changes, we're going to become more and more of an underclass. Black people are on the path to become a permanent underclass in the country that was built on the backs of our people. That's only going to change if we change it. No one is going to give us anything. The black community exists for other people to prey upon and get rich, and that's what they do. But they only do it because we allow it. So since the first documented slave got here in 1619 to now 2022, we've gone through over 3,000 years of anti-black acts of terror, assault, and destruction. Everything that's happened to black people has happened on purpose. We have a tendency to think that the system is broken. It's not broken. It's operating the way it was designed to operate. We just don't realize that. So what the Black Gold Nation is doing is we're launching a program called the CARE Alliance, C-A-R-E. CARE is for community, A is for action, R is for results, E is for empowerment. There is nothing that we are facing and are confronting that community cannot protect us from. But to have community, you got to have a group of people who are on the same page. People who are trying to strive to be in the same space. To have community, you got to have commitment. You got to have understanding. You got to have a spiritual connection with your brother and your sister and a higher power. And you have to be willing to sacrifice. No one is going to give us anything. As a matter of fact, when we put in our blood, sweat, and tears, other people benefit from it, and we get left behind. So the C in the CARE Alliance is about community. Because if we are a community, there's nothing we cannot handle, there's nothing we cannot confront, and there's nothing we cannot overcome. The A in the CARE Alliance is for action. We will have no community if there's no action. This is the hardest part about what we're about to do. The announcement and the idea is the easy part. The action is where black people fall short because we don't like to come back. We don't like to be held accountable. We don't like to put in the time. That cannot work if we're not going to become a permanent underclass. We have to be active in what we're trying to do so we can own and control more of our communities, especially the economic aspects of it. The R is for results. If we want the kind of community that our children need and our children deserve, if we put in the action, we will have the results. And the E is for empowerment. Everything that's happened to black people has happened because we have not had the power to stop it. Everything that's happening to us right now is happening because we do not have the power to stop it. So the CARE Alliance is about bringing together resources that we already have in our own communities to move our children forward. Our children don't have a snowball chance in hell of having any semblance of power if we, the adults in 2022, don't do something. If we don't put our children in a position to win, they won't win. So the CARE Alliance, is about us getting businesses, every business in the black community. It doesn't matter who owns it. It doesn't matter their religion, their color, their sexual persuasion, none of that matters. If they are making their money off black people, they have to be held accountable. We want to establish an alliance with these businesses and say to them, if you've made millions off of black people, you've got to give back. Why? Because our children need that to survive. We are running the risk of becoming a permanent underclass. And if we become a permanent underclass, there's no coming back from that. So these businesses have to be held accountable because we need those resources. There are empty buildings. There are empty businesses. There's available land and space in our own communities, but we're not taking advantage of it because we overlook that. Everybody has ideas as to what we can do if we are a unified, connected people. But we don't have any money. We're giving away our freedom to other people. We got to change that. If we're going to make it, we got to change that. And the CARE Alliance is about doing that. So what we do from this day forward is history making. What we're about to do, black people have never done before. And it most certainly can put us in a position to win if we put in the work. And the work is a part of the revolution. No work, no revolution, no freedom. So we have a few speakers that are going to give you their perspective of what we're about to do. I'm going to bring up the first one. This is Brother Nate. He's a candidate in the Black Gold Nation's National Leadership Election in the IT department. He teaches our youth IT, A+ certification, cell phone repair and weapons safety and training. Brother Nate is going to speak for a few minutes. Then we're going to have Brother Masai, who's going to speak representing the youth. And then we're going to close it out with Brother Chevy. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
Brother Nate.
Yes.
All right, hopefully everybody can see and hear me okay. So I'm Nathan, like you mentioned, with the Black Gold Nation. I've been in Houston for a while. My main profession is I work at Dell Technologies as an IT engineer. I've been there about 10 years. And so I got with Tamani, just as he said, to try to use my skills on the weekends and the time that I do have to cross-teach our own youth. So that first program he's talking about is the IT part. I'm going to first talk about the firearms part. So I'm also a certified USCCA. USCCA stands for United States Concealed Carry Association, right? So that allows you to get training in various different topics. So I offer 2 classes right now, Fundamentals of Defensive Pistol and Fundamentals of Defensive Rifle. The reason, and we also have a third thing that we're doing in this program with Black Gold Nation that he talked about is the youth shooting program. The problem we have in our community, a lot of the youth don't have you might see a lot of Instagram videos of kids flashing guns at each other, shooting themselves, playing around, and not understanding the dynamics of a weapon system and the dynamics of what can happen if they use that weapon system in the wrong way. So the objective of the program is to teach the youth, we're not going to start with real guns, we're going to start with what's called airsoft gun. Airsoft gun allows you to shoot plastic BBs without it being legal. So that way you as parents can be comfortable with your kids as young as 5 years old, such as my granddaughter, and all the way up. Everybody's familiar with the black, there's not a black one, but the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, that sort of thing. We need to create something similar to that in the black community, where we not only teach our kids weapons training, but we teach them survival skills, how to start a fire, how to gather water, how to clean a gun, why do you need to clean a gun, all these sort of things. The 5 rules of gun safety, these kind of things that we need to teach our kids. This is a poster that each kid will get that they'll be able to hang in their house to tell them as a reminder the 5 rules of gun safety. You see a weapon and you're not trained, you should know how to grab the weapon. Are you grabbing it with an index finger? How are you manipulating it? Right, so that's the firearms program. So one of the things is there's a legal part and then there's a physically doing the part as far as weapons is concerned. So you need to learn the law. If you don't have your concealed carry license right now and you're in Texas, Louisiana, these southern states, you need to get into classes with, I don't teach concealed carry classes, but I have other instructors that do. So if you're interested in learning about how to get your concealed carry license, that can be a thing for you, so you're able to legally carry a weapon. And all those different components we'll go over. So we got all kind of material to help you understand exactly what's involved legally, but also physically during the practice sessions. In July, we're going to have an event where we have some of the youth that are going to learn how to shoot with airsoft. We're going to have a competition shoot where they're going to shoot at different targets, that kind of thing. So that'll be one of our programs that's coming up in July. The second thing I want to move to is the next program, which is our youth computer IT engineering program. So like I mentioned earlier, I am an IT engineer for 20 years. This book right here is called CompTIA A+ certification. This is an industry-wide certification across the globe, meaning you can get this certification just like you might be a certified auto mechanic. You'll be a certified IT engineer, and then you can branch that off into phone repair. That's one of the things we want to do with our youth. I used to do phone repair on top of my job on the weekends. About 3 years ago, I stopped doing it. It costs about $1,000 a month to generate enough traffic to get enough calls where you can have enough to support and make it worth your time. So phone repairs, cybersecurity, that's a big profession that a lot of people are looking into. All these companies getting hacked, your phones can get hacked. How do you learn that skill? And how do you learn how to use that skill in the real world? We want to take the skills that we have and start to teach ourselves and start to teach our own kids and create our own programs. So he's talking about institutions. We need to have our own IT institution, all black IT engineering institution, where we have IT nerds, right? And we have firearm nerds. We got to have different levels of different things, different programs. So the computer engineering program is a big deal. And this is the first level. There's different levels. So this will be the first level. Then it goes to Network Plus, and then Security Plus, and then you can get off into different areas from there. So I think that's about my time.
So really quickly before I bring up Brother Messiah, I want to stress the importance of our systems. We don't have any systems to move our people forward. We can't feed ourselves because we don't control an agricultural system. We can't employ ourselves because we don't control a training and employment system. We can't protect ourselves because we don't have a intelligence and security system. Like Brother Nate was saying, we don't educate ourselves because we don't have an educational system. We're losing because we don't have systems that we develop, that we implement, that are going to move the black needle forward. Everything the white man has, we have to have because his stuff is not for us. Yes, America was built by black people, but this system was not built for black people. So we got to have our own system, and again, that's why a brother Nate is so important, because of what he brings to the table and what he's willing to give black people. So understand that at the end of the day, the CARE Alliance is about us aligning ourselves with every entity in a predominantly black space that can help us create the systems that we need to move ourselves forward, because until we have those systems, we're always going to lose. Brother Messiah. It's only 6
Come on, man.
Show some love.
Woo!
All right, let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's go.
Come on, Messiah.
We're good, man. We got you.
Hello, my name is Messiah Battles. I am a Pearland High School student. I am in 10th grade. And today, I am going to speak about the community and about what the community needs.
Take your time, man. You good.
This community, African American community, looks bad. I'm just saying how it is. Looks bad, looks horrible. It looks dirty, it looks trashy. And I think we need to fix this.
You good, man. You good. We good. You good.
Come on, baby. You doing good. You doing good. You got this. It's all right.
I'm gonna tell myself.
You good. You good. Keep going.
Me as a black African American young man think that black communities like such needs more schools, more black teachers, more groups, more people to stand up, not just for me, for all the kids behind me, for the younger ones, for the little babies, for the kids that are growing up, the ones in high school, college, elementary. We need more. I'm scared that I won't make it past the age of 20, because so many things in this world going on, I'm scared if I walk down the street alone, that I will either get killed, shot, arrested, for something dumb. I'm scared that one of these days, I go in my school, or I walk to my school, I walk to any place, any corner store, I'll get shot or accused of me doing something that I don't even do or won't do. I'm a 16-year-old, young African American, and I think that us as African Americans need to stop sitting down, saying we're going to do something, saying this, saying that, and actually stand up for what we're going to do.
Let's go, black man.
Go ahead.
Let's actually stand up. Let's actually go to the things we're going to say. Plan. If we're going to plan something, actually follow forth, and actually do it. I am here standing for the African American youth because I think we need more kids like me and better than me to sit here and talk about what goes on in the community. My youth, the people in my age group, 16, 18 and up, are either in a gang or either dead, shot, in jail. I think we need more schools to avoid those situations, to avoid us stealing, getting killed, killing others. I think we need more black teachers. We need more black history because we don't have enough of it. I am one of the many kids that know about our black history, about what's going on in this community, about the problems in this community. And I think that, like I said before, we need to stand up.
Yes.
Okay, I think I'm done.
Yeah, good job, Big A. Good job. Good job. Good job.
He's 16, but he's only 16 by like a month and a half ago. He really just turned
Right.
15. But he did good.
He did great.
Everything he said was on point. In the early 70s, some social scientists out of Yale predicted that America would collapse as a society because of how this system works as it relates to trying to generate capital by any means necessary. That study was updated a few months ago, and we are ahead of schedule for society to collapse. The projection is that within 18 years, it's going to be a societal collapse. It means everything we're used to is no longer going to be that way. In 18 years, I will still be here. I'm 51, but I will still be here. Every person that's younger than me, you are going to be here. It's not going to be fine on Monday, then Tuesday it falls apart. It's going to be a progressive degression as it relates to how we live our lives. Again, we own close to nothing. We control nothing. We have no systems that we implement, that we design to move our black selves forward. If we don't get serious about holding people accountable who make millions from our people. We always hear how much money flows through the black community, but do we ever hear how we can keep some of it? Do we ever hear how we can take some of it back? Do we ever hear what we can do with some of it if we did take it back? Everything that we're doing with the Carolinas moving forward is revolutionary, it's historic, and it's a game changer. This is a revolutionary chess move that we're making. Brother Chevys is going to come up and close us out. And this brother is why we do what we do. And people like him are everywhere. But if we allow his intellect to be out there on his own, America will do, white supremacy will do what they always do. Exile, assassinate, or incarcerate. A black mind that's open is a threat. And Brother Chev is most certainly one of those persons. So Brother Chev,
Come on, brother.
I'm gonna read something if y'all don't mind.
Don't mind.
Foremost, peace and power to the people. I'm Chevis Watson, candidate for the 2022 Black Gold Nation leadership election, seeking to operate the community division. I appreciate your time today, but also your ears. I hope I reach you all. I'm thrilled to be with you this morning. After having traveled from San Antonio earlier until late last night, I facilitated a policy summit on rewriting the 1994 crime bill, which further enforced white supremacy in the landscape of Black America, but also polluted the minds, hearts, and experiences of Black men, women, children, and families throughout the world. Over the past 2 weeks, I've witnessed the unjust execution of a sick, elderly man, and days later, I helped prevent the execution of an innocent woman, wrongly convicted, and who remains on death row for a crime that never happened. Thus today, I stand before you with no concern for praise, with no concern for Polo Ralph Lauren, but only to speak to you concerned with purpose and for power. There is nothing new under the sun, and the moon is always at work. It has been long overdue that we also stay in motion to once again find harmony with each other. Our community that we make up holds an absolute obligation to its members and to the future of our generation to provide access and create resolve for the purpose of reconciliation and unity. Reconciliation for the outcome of repair and healing, but reconciling for the realigning of affiliations and the recovering from debts, both financial and also moral. Unity for the purpose of balance, overcoming conflict, yet also for the knowledge we need to understand each other, rehearsing righteousness into each other through the application of wisdom. We are more than Black. We are original royalty.
Say that.
And it has also been long overdue that we return to a kingdom mindset. We must overcome the outcomes of our enslaved history, competing no longer with the past, but achieving renewed interest in developments that we bring together and that will bring us together. Never again to be lost in personalities, but ambitiously seeking power. The power that batteries make, or that energy provokes. The power that shifts our activity and mobilizes our actions. The power that kills what's been comfortable, ascending to higher levels. The power that is no ghost, but embedded within us. We can simply change the way we see, even the way we love ourselves. Truth reveals. And so the ancestors have charged me with the obligation to build an army of justice. One to overcome and eliminate the injustice of white supremacy and racism. The community means so much to me. Let me tell you some of the things I'd like to bring to the nation that I've been working on for some time since I returned from prison. We need a food access program. but not one that we have to spend our own dollars on. There's enough food waste for us to rescue, reallocate, and recycle back into our communities. A mom's first initiative. So us men, we pay our homage and we seek our repair for our relationship with our black women by simply standing outside and helping, not becoming intimately involved in the dealings of her household. Healing circles, so that brothers can simply unpack with each other and overcome any conflict by simply spending time with each other. Spending time that doesn't include the NFL or the NBA or any other slave trades. Documentation assistance, so that we can all reconcile our documents and become naturalized in our constituency, knowing exactly what those birth certificates and those social security cards mean. But absolutely education. We must return the importance of education, not only to our children, but also to our adults. Many of us cannot read, write, so we definitely cannot comprehend or understand what's going on to us. So we will either take action or continue experiencing what Brother James Baldwin described as a terrible time. He said we wake up at 30 and we're having such a terrible time, and it's not because of the police or the hospitals, but because we look as adults at our babies and we know that there's nothing we can do to change their experiences that we know so well. Therefore, I charge you all to know that we can, and the time is right now. We must build community. We must take action. We must seek out, identify, but also gain results. And we must be empowered while doing so. This is the CARE Alliance. I charge you all, when you leave here, whether you go to Acres Homes or Sunnyside or Cashmere Gardens, Memphis, Tennessee, Oakland, California, in Houston, or back in Austin, Texas, I charge you to think, how can you apply group economics in your community? How can you use your skill sets to build community? How can you use your mental power to create action and create results? And how, by speaking to each other, you can empower each other like we are empowered today. Are you in?
Yes, yes.
Keep that yes in your pocket. And as Brother Malcolm said, leave all of your biases in the closet when you come out to the community, and bring your best selves. We must be liberated in this fight. We must be illuminated in this fight. We must be strong in this fight. Our community needs us right now. Our sisters need us right now. Our brothers, our children, our elders need us right now. So again, I ask you, are you in?
Yes.
I appreciate your time, your ears. Again, I am running to operate the community division, and so the CARE Alliance will be embedded in all angles of the community division, if elected. And when I say elected, I do not mean anything from that white, broken democratic system. If you have any questions about this community, about our community, about any other communities, inquire. If I don't know, guess what? We'll figure it out. Again, are you in?
Yes.
Sir.
Peace.
All right. In closing, the CARE Alliance, community action results empowerment. Remember two things. No one can do everything. But if everyone does something, everything will get done. Millions flow through every predominantly black zip code in this country. Millions flow through. The Carolines is about us getting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of it. And we can. The millions flow because we give the millions. If we can change the mindset of the people who are giving the millions come back. And our children have a chance to live free. But no one's going to give that to us. We got to mobilize, we got to organize, we got to take it. And lastly, always remember that nothing is more sacred. Not me, not you, your kids, my kids, your family, my family. Nothing is more sacred than the liberation and salvation of black people, the empowerment and the freedom of black people, because if black people don't make it, none of us make it. Thank you very much. God bless you, and look for the Carolines. Take care.